want to share a couple thoughts with you first. This is one of the quotes that Diane shared earlier. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The easiest thing is to react. The second easiest thing is to respond. The hardest thing is to initiate. The second quote is Seth Godin, if anybody wants to know. The first quote, I have no idea, so it's from me. In preparing for this meeting, I went into a lot of books that I have read, and I looked for supporting information to the message that I wanted to deliver. And the good news for you guys is I took quotes from about 10 different books, and I narrowed that down to just 3. You guys are going to be happy about that, I promise. I do want to share this with you, though. Gary Keller and you need everybody else.
Pieces of chicken tenders.
Somebody's ordering. You know, when you spend an entire year on Zoom teaching a class every single day, nothing on Zoom surprises you. Steak and shake, right?
Yeah.
Was it good? Made me hungry. So Gary Keller in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent on page 71, it's one of my favorite parts of this book. He talks about the 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks. And I was asking myself, how should we be thinking right now? And I came up with 3 of the 9 that are very critical to this conversation that we're having today. First of all, think possibilities. If I've learned anything in life, it is that if you believe something is possible, you tend to focus on the constructive means necessary to make that possibility a reality. Think about the opposite of that. If you don't believe something is possible, then you're not going to think about how can I make this happen. I mean, that's kind of a waste of time, right? It's not possible. I've also learned to believe the opposite. If you don't think something is possible, then you will be blinded to the ways it could be done. Now, here's what that said to me. It said, John, the answer is right there and you don't see it. The answer is right there and you don't see it. Because you're blinded to the answer because you don't believe it's possible. Gary goes on to talk about think action. He says, when you have big goals and big models with a big why powering them, you begin to think possibilities and you begin to believe anything is possible. When you begin to believe your big goal is possible, the natural result is that you start forming plans and get more focused on making things happen. Now, what did I hear? The message I heard was, it's time to take action. Now. Now is the time. Take action. And then lastly, I want to talk to you about thinking without fear. One of the big obstacles for most people who want to think action is that as they set out actually to take action, they cannot think without fear. The conversation we're going to have today, if I'm being brutally honest with you guys, I'm going to tell you it scared me. I had to work on thinking without fear. It didn't come natural. They start to move forward, stumble into some obstacles, and find themselves paralyzed into inaction. So I'm going to take you back to 1987. This company Your company was 5 years old at that time. And they were going through an industry shift that caused disruption. Matter of fact, so much so that Gary got his top agents together in a room and he had a conversation with them about the future of their real estate company. Very similar to what we're doing here today. And he said, we are going to redesign this company, your company, such that everybody would want to be a part of our company and nobody would want to leave. Now, we started having conversations about a year ago based on building a new Keller Williams, reimagining our models, creating a real estate model that you deserve. Thought a lot about this conversation. And at one point I thought, you know, this is a gift that we're providing the agents. And then I thought, no, it's not. It's not a gift. This is the company that they've earned. They deserve this. It's not a gift if you've earned it. It's not a gift if you deserve it. It's just the company doing the right thing. And I thought, you know, we're not doing this because it's the right thing to do. We're doing this because it's the only thing to do. Because it's the right thing to do. Because you earned it. I've been a part of this company since 2002, which means I wasn't in that room in 1987, but I am in this room today. And I can imagine 30 years from now, there's going to be a group of real estate agents that are getting together that are talking about the greatest real estate company that has ever existed. And they're going to be talking about a date back in 2021 when real estate offices around the country got together. Can we video? I just thought of that. Can we shoot a video on this? Please, we want to be able to send this out by email. It's okay. But what we didn't get is okay. What we do get is never mind.
Should have been. You're so old.
Come on,
30 years from now, real estate offices, real estate agents that are a part of this company are going to get together and they're going to talk about this time. They're going to be talking about you guys and how you created the new Keller Williams. I don't know about you, but that fires me up. It gives me chills. I'm honored to be a part of that conversation. Gary Keller charged us to create a disruptive model. What does disruptive mean? Well, disruptive to me means when we introduce this to the local market, our competitors are going, oh crap. Now what? Disruptive means that when you look at everything that makes Keller Williams, our value proposition, training, coaching, technology, culture, systems, models, and tools that the rest of the real estate industry follows in order to build great real estate businesses. When we say that we wrote the book on building a successful real estate business, we actually wrote the book. When you look at our value proposition, and then you look at the economic model that you're going to see here in about 45 minutes. Thanks for laughing. Just making sure that you're paying attention. When you look at this economic model that you're going to see in a few minutes, and then you take everything else that makes Keller Williams, we will be able to say with 100% certainty that this is the best model in the real estate industry, second to none. It is the best model in South Florida. It is a model that would cause every single real estate agent who works in the Coral Springs Parkland market to want to be a part of this company, that would cause real estate agents to never want to leave this company. And you guys were a part of making this happen. You see, we put everything to paper that we're presenting to you today because you created it. This is your model. We've listened to you for the last year, and I want you to know we heard you, and we put exactly what you told us you were looking for on paper. And what you're going to see is about the 20th edition of what the model started out looking like, because the first model wasn't good enough. The second wasn't good enough. The third wasn't good enough. The 19th wasn't good enough. We didn't stop until we came to perfect. Go for something.
Love this.
Unmute everybody. I absolutely make noise. You should be making noise. This is such a big deal. What does that look like if I have gross commission of $10,000? Can you go to the next slide? Every agent, whether you've been part of our company for a day or 5 years, if you're on a 70-30 split, you just got a $1,000 raise on $10,000 gross commission. That's a big deal. What does it look like if I sell 5 homes? Here we go. If the average commission is $10,000, that's 50,000 GCI. That number is wrong. I don't believe I just now noticed that. Oh, that's the old model.
That's the old model, John.
Never mind.
Your math is good, John.
Never mind. I've only looked at this 100 times. Show me the new model.
It's right behind you.
There it is. That I can get excited about. Woo! Stop there. All right, 10 units sold is $80,000. You have a $16,000 total cap. Office fees of $1,560 with 0 transaction fees. We're going to go deeper into this in just a moment, but you're going to have an opportunity to choose between 2 different office fees. One, which is much lower than our current fee with a transaction fee, and one that is a little bit higher than our current office fee with no transaction fee. It's going to be your choice. And if I'm closing 10 units, this is what the model looks like. I have a $16,000 cap. I'm keeping $62,440. Now, we asked ourselves, how does this compare to our competition? Now, first of all, you have to identify who's your competition. You know, if you asked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who they're paying attention to, they're not paying attention to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're not paying attention to the New York Jets. Sorry if you're a Jets fan or a Jaguars fan. We're paying attention to RE/MAX and Coldwell Banker because if you look at the top 3 market centers in our market, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, RE/MAX. We're not paying attention to anyone else because they're not on our radar. We're paying attention to our top competitors. So how does this compare to Coldwell Banker? $5,000 more at Coldwell Banker. Assuming that the agents in both companies would close the same number of units. Assuming that the agent both companies would have the same GCI. And remember our value proposition, training, coaching. Not just training and coaching, but the best training and coaching available in the industry. Systems, models, and tools and technology, productivity coaching, all of the support that Keller Williams provides. How many additional sales is that worth? 1 a month? More? Let's just assume for the purpose of this conversation that you have the same amount of production. You're making more money at Keller Williams. How do we look compared to RE/MAX? There's a $5,000 gap. $5,000. And what does that mean? That means if I'm talking to you and you're a RE/MAX agent, I need to help you close one more deal. Just one more sale, and you're better off here. Yes or yes?
Yeah.
Yes. How does this look if we go to the next level? I think it's 2015. Next slide. Go to the next one. Stop there for a moment. What are your thoughts?
Wow.
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 Wow is right. Let's go to the next one. There's a $60,000 difference between Coldwell Banker and Keller Williams. For those of you who have friends at Coldwell Banker, I've been on the phone today. There has never been a better time for you to have conversations with your friends that are outside this company around the opportunity that this company provides. Because when those friends of yours who come here and they see this, they're joining. They're absolutely joining. And what's the opportunity for you? But you, go ahead, Gonzalo. A huge opportunity. You know, here's the thing, guys. Time out. You want to do the math? This is a $6,200 increase per year for anyone who is capping. It is an additional 10% on every deal for everyone else who's currently on a 70-30 split. However, if you look at the opportunity the right way, Jake, just because you're in my line of sight and because you're one of my favorite people, how much longer are you going to be in real estate? What do you, just pick a number.
A long time.
30 years?
Yeah, 30 years.
30 years. So this is a $180,000 conversation. Because an additional $6,000 per year is an additional $180,000. Yes or yes? Yeah. And if you had friends at Coldwell Banker or Remax who chose to join Keller Williams because we have the most disruptive model in South Florida, and you had just 10 friends who chose you level 1 to join this company, who had an average of 2 or 3 friends each, who had an average of 2 or 3 friends each, and on, you've created passive income that's paying you $2,000 a year, $3,000 a year, maybe $10,000 a year, maybe $1.4 million a year, like Linda McKissick. But let's just go back and make it $2,000 a year. You're a young man.
I'm already making that publisher.
You're a young man. Well, then let's bring it up to $5,000 a year, okay? You're a young man. You're going to be around a long time. Let's just say 60 years at $5,000. That's a $300,000 opportunity for you. Yes, yes. Yeah, and it survives you. You're going to get married and have children one day. Don't say no. Yes, you are. You're going to get married and have children one day, and that money goes to them for the rest of their life. I want you to understand, everybody, how big this conversation is. This is not, hey, your cap's been, your split's been raised to 80-20 and your cap is that's $7,000 less a year. This conversation is so much bigger than that. Let's go to the next slide. So looking at the Keller Williams value proposition, I've got KW Command Technology Platform ranked most innovative company according to the Fast Company. That's pretty cool. I'm good with that. #1 training and coaching company according to Training Magazine. That's awesome as well. MREA Systems and Models to build a big real estate business. I'm in for that. KW Culture, #1 culture company according to Franchise Business Review. That's kind of important. And productivity coaching support. Let's go to the next slide. How many additional closed sales is Keller Williams Coral Springs value proposition worth every year? How many additional closed sales? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 1 a month? You tell me. But Wayne, you're nodding your head. How many additional sales is our value proposition worth?
At least 12 a year.
12 a year. Someone else. 24. Someone else. How many additional sales is our value proposition worth? Scott's on his calculator, so I know he's going to give me a really cool answer. Now, go for it. 2. Go ahead.
2 is the expense and the cost.
Yep.
But what is it worth? It's your choice. That's the value.
So the sky is the limit? Well, Scott did a great job of segueing into the next question. How many additional sales would I have to do in order to cover my cap? It takes 2. 2. How many is it? One more time. One more time. One more time. Can we go to the next slide? If our value proposition is worth at least 2 closed sales, all agents. How many agents? Everybody. So 2 people in the room. How many agents? All. Thank you. All agents are better off at Keller Williams than any other broker in the market. Go to the slide. I believe that. I believe that this day is one of the most important days in this company's history. I believe that we're going to look back on this day one day as a defining moment when we had a breakthrough that led us to the promised land that we talked about first time back in 2015 when we shared our vision to become the #1 Keller Williams Market Center in the South Florida region, and eventually the #1 Keller Williams office and all of Keller Williams Realty International, not for us, but for you. The reason that is so important is because it's part of your validity. As a real estate agent, one of the most common questions you get is, who do you work with? And Aaron, I want your response to be, I'm glad you asked. Yes, it's a script, get over it. I want your response to be, I'm glad you asked. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty in Coral Springs, the #1 Keller Williams office in Coral Springs, the #1 real estate office in Broward County for homes listed and sold, and the #1 Keller Williams Market Center in the entire country. That's immediate validity. That's why this is important. It's for you, not for us. This is the day that we make a breakthrough that takes us there. Now, that's what I believe. Lisa,
This is huge.
I think so.
It's life-changing.
I agree. It's huge.
And I thank you for that.
It's life-changing.
Because the value alone, for me, the value alone, you know, I used to own my own company back in the day. I know what it feels like to pay payroll, commission, lights, electric, and I'm sure that this was a huge deal for you guys. And I appreciate every single thing that you've done. Because the value for me is the ups and downs. You guys are always here for me. I'm out there doing stuff, and Richard Bass, thank God for him, because, oh my God. And the value of you, the value of every single person in here, by the way, the value of Jeff Booker teaching me really how to read those contracts. I save my people's asses all the time. And that's because of you guys and the values that you create. And as you know, my business in June was really weird. It was here, but that's okay. Because you know why? The value in every single one of you being there for me is worth it.
Thank you, Lisa.
And I thank you. I thank you for taking this chance, and I thank you for putting more money in my pocket because of what I'm going through out there. But because of your leadership, I am going balls to the wall, and I have a shitload of leads, and I appreciate every single one. This comes out. And that's, I mean, I want to say a lot more, but the value alone, and on top of it, I just got more money. I can't even, I don't even know what to say. But I know how hard that was for Alan and Rich, everybody else who was involved. I know how hard it is. That's why I just need to say, and when you value your company, because you have to value the company, because if you don't value the company, how are you going to value the people? I get that. Been there. And I just want to say thank you for valuing me, and thank you for helping me.
Thank you, Lisa. This is an opportunity for you to talk, to ask questions. I intentionally turned off. You guys see that? I immediately went, oh my gosh, they're gone. All right, they're there. Yes. Scared me. Ouch. This is just an opportunity for us to have a conversation. This is a family. We're sitting in the living room and we're talking about the future of our family. And there's nothing that's not on the table. There's a few things that I didn't talk about, and I'll share with you that you will get more than one email will go out to everyone outlining every single part of this, including office fees, because that's going to change. And remember, you're going to have a choice between either $30 a month, less than you're currently paying, with no convenience fee for credit card. It's just $30 a month, period. With a transaction fee of $195, which will be capped at 10 sales. Or you'll have the option to choose $130 a month, which is $70 more than you're currently paying, or $840 in a year. If you're doing the math, that means you're getting a raise, those of you who are capping, of $6,140. You'll have a choice of choosing the $130 a month fee with no transaction fee. Now, if you're charging a transaction fee, you can, if you're paying a transaction fee, you can collect that from your buyers and sellers. It's very common in this market. Most of your competitors do it. So you're not going to get kickback on that. It is your choice. And you do have the choice to choose one or the other. And you will be given an option to switch from one to the other as your business grows. And you'll get more information on the details on how this works. The other question that you're not asking, that I'll ask and answer for you, is how is this being rolled out, right? I'm going to tell you how, and I'm going to tell you why. This is being rolled out for the agents in the market center who are, for anybody who's here, it is being rolled out on your anniversary date. So if you are currently at $17,000 in company dollar, you continue to contribute until you cap at $20,000, and then on your anniversary date, you're in the new model with a $13,000 company dollar cap. Now, can I tell you why we did it that way? Say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Because it's the right thing to do. Because it's the fair thing to do. Because if we made it effective immediately, Michael Chilago, who just left the room, who just capped, would have every right to come to us and ask for a $7,000 refund. I mean, that would only be fair. And if we made an exception for Mike Chilago, then everyone who capped in February would have a right, an expectation that we would refund them as well. And then everybody in January would have the same right, the same expectation in December and November and October and September, all the way back to March a year ago. So this is the right way to do it. It's the fair way to do it. And because this company is a culture company, we're going to do what's right and fair. If we said, okay, we're going to make this retroactive to the beginning of the year, because that makes sense, it's a calendar year, let's make it January 1. Well, what about everybody who has an anniversary date of December 1st? What about everybody whose anniversary date is November 1st? Is that fair to them? No. Here's the bottom line. Thank you, John. Gonzalo, thank you. The bottom line, I'm just going to be real, is with over 300 agents in this office, I am grateful that I am part of a company that has high-minded professionals with the culture that you do, because I know you're looking at this the right way. And I'm really grateful for that. And we're always going to do what's right because it's the right thing to do. And this is the right way to do it. You will get an email that will outline every detail of this to you, that will answer every single question in reference to how this is being rolled out, how this impacts you. And just know that your leadership team, starting with Alan and Richard and Robin, have put hours and 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 hours into doing this the right way for you, because you earned this. You deserve this. I'm gonna close the way I started. I'm not done yet, because if you have questions or comments, the floor is yours. But I'm gonna close with, this is not a gift. You earned this. You deserve this. You deserve to be a part of the #1 real estate company in the world. We are a company with a vision to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, legacies worth leaving. We are a company that believes that God is first, family is next, and then business. We are a company that believes win-win or no deal. Integrity. Do the right thing. This is the right thing to do. Now is the right time to do it. You deserve this.
I'm excited.
All right, going once. This is your time to talk.
Anybody in Zoom, if you have any questions?
There was just once I didn't follow you.
I'm so excited that I forgot to do it.
Please check Zoom and make sure we don't have any hands up before we.
Shirley Robinson said, thank you, Alan, Richard, and John.
Yes, thank you.
And great meeting.
And Brittany.
All right, let's go drink.
Happy hour.
Or Paul.
Happy, yeah, right? Happy hour, 4 p.m. Right across the street. Meet here at 3:30 to do the Congo line.
Yeah.
I believe you, so I'm gonna show up outside, ready to Congo over to tax. We're open for business.
Yes. Yeah. Good to be back.
Yes, Wayne.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Lisa.